Good morning and welcome to the morning show with Angel and Tina and all our fabulous guests today. Tina, how are you doing?
Doing fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. I have a really good hair day today. I kept doing my hair. I was like, ooh, I kind of like it kind of straight. And you know, when you have a really good hair day, you're like, ooh, it looks good.
I was just making sure my crown was
I love
there.
your crown. In fact, speaking of crowns, we have a little famous person here today. We have Miss International USA in the house on the morning show with Angel and Tina.
Good morning.
And
Good
not
morning,
only that,
Mikell.
but we have Kim and Jen. I know Jen from my original hometown in Richmond Hill, Georgia. And Kimberly Bassett is in the house as well. Awesome friend of ours. So we're going to have a fabulous show today. Are you guys excited? I'm kind of excited. I should have put my crown on my head.
You know what? We'll let you go get it. Do you know where it is? Is it handy? I need to change my glasses.
Where it is.
They're loose and wiggly. Oh, the trials of being a woman, right? Well, ladies, we're super excited to have you joining us here this morning on the Angel and Tina morning show. Super excited to have your beautiful smiles and your beautiful faces shining at us. And yeah, we did get pretty giddy when Mikell brought out her crown. Look at the size of that.
I know.
Like how tall is that crown? It is quite up there.
It's nearly a foot tall, I think. It's pretty big. When I first,
my gosh.
I know, when I first went after I left the pageant, was walking out to my cab, I wasn't used to having something so big on my head, and I whacked it like right on the door as I was getting in.
Of course you would.
Miss USA etiquette 101. Do not wear your crown inside of a taxi cab because it will get hit.
Well, so
always happens to me too.
Right, all the time. Then you put your heels on and then you put your crown on. I mean,
you throw
add
an extra foot and a half. So did they give you a box to put this in?
They did not give me one. It's hard to actually find a crown case that will fit it. I do have one. Gosh, I can't even think of where I ordered it from, but I had to order like a custom crown case in order for it to fit in. A standard crown case will not fit this. Unfortunately, it doesn't travel very well. So most of the time, if I travel internationally, I actually just bring my sash. Because this is so difficult to travel with, and I'm always afraid, of course, I'm going to break it. I don't want to break it.
Do you wear your sash often? Like if you're in the airport, do you wear it?
No, I tend not to do that. I mean, I'll wear it at appearances and things, but maybe, if I was in line and I thought, well, maybe this could get me like.
That's what I was thinking. Like I probably could get it on if I wore my sash everywhere.
Exactly. Maybe, yeah.
Tina would wear her sash. If we gave her a sash, she would wear it to coffee.
Everywhere. I would be like,
yeah, why not?
I think we need to order you a sash. So Tina, what do you want to be crowned? What do you want to be?
Do I want to be crowned?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, well, think about it. How about you, Kim? Have you ever done a pageant before?
I did when I was like 14 years old.
And so,
did you wear a crown, Kim?
Nope. I had a sash, but you know what? I don't know what happened to the sash.
If we were to crown you today, what would we crown you as, Kim?
All
right. So be thinking about.
I'll be thinking about that.
Fine. Miss Gratitude USA.
Miss
I was thinking
Gratitude USA. Okay.
Oh,
awesome. Boom. How about you, Jen? You ever do pageants?
I've never done a pageant. I don't know. In my little pocket of Long Island, I didn't even know a pageant was a thing. But I do have a crown though.
You do?
I was a prom queen. Yes. So,
Prom queen.
and I pull that out.
Okay, that counts.
That counts.
Absolutely counts.
It does.
Prom queen. We won't ask.
You know.
We don't want to give that away. But if we were to crown you today, what would you be crowned as?
God, is it okay if I say badass? Can I say that?
Badass USA.
Yeah.
Self-proclaimed.
Is it a sparkly crown? Is it glittery? Is it like?
Got like lots of, my real one, my real plastic crown, it's basic, but the one I want will have a lot of crystals and lots of colors.
Okay. Yes, right? Okay, Kim, did you decide yet?
Probably Queen of Coffee.
Queen of Coffee.
Ooh.
Queen of Coffee.
Well done.
That probably should have been mine too, I guess.
No, we love yours, Miss Gratitude.
I love the gratitude one.
USA.
Or Badass Mom.
Mikell, did
There you go.
you always want to be Miss USA? Like, was this a dream of yours? You know, like when you're little, you're like, ooh, I want to do that when I grow up. Did you like always do that? She's
It
like,
really was. It was definitely something. When I was a little girl, I always watched Miss America. I always watched Miss USA. And I always thought, well, maybe someday that could be me. But, you know, I was like a skinny, gap-toothed kid with giant hair, Coke bottle glasses. So to me, it didn't really seem like much of a reality. It was very much a fantasy. So then when I won this crown at age 41, it was definitely a shock. But, you know, I'd also worked really hard for it. So it wasn't completely unexpected, but I was shocked and just thrilled. So yeah, it's sort of a lifelong dream come true. And a journey of more than like 20 plus years competing in pageants to win this. So it was not easy. It's not like I just walked in and won.
20 years competing to get this far. So before you are crowned International Miss USA, what were you crowned before that? Because you kind of rank up.
What was your stepping stones?
Sure. So I started out when I was about 20 years old competing at local pageants in the Miss America system. So local like city pageants. I'm from Maine originally. So I competed at local pageants there. Wasn't really sure it was for me. I was really shy at the time. But then as I continued to compete, I began to actually enjoy doing pageants and then decided to keep going. I won a lot of scholarship money, which was excellent. Then I competed in a few more pageants like Miss Hawaiian Tropic, Miss Maine USA.
Oh, Miss Hawaiian Tropic.
Yes. Miss Maine Hawaiian Tropic, nothing past the state level. And I sort of got past the state level. So, you know, I thought I was done in my mid-20s when you sort of age out in pageantry. And then when I was about 35 after I was married, I was sort of missing pageantry and looked into doing a pageant for married women, found that there were a lot of them, and then started competing. I competed in the Mrs. America system, let's see what else, the Mrs. Tourism system. I won World's Mrs. Tourism in 2018. And then after the age of 40, I sort of thought, oh, I'll retire. But then this one came up a little while after my second child was born, and I thought, what the heck, I'll try one more pageant, get myself in shape, give myself some goals to work up to. And it was so much fun. I had a great weekend. We were in New York City for the pageant. I brought my sister and my best friend with me, and it was just a wonderful experience. And
that sounds amazing. Like just the whole experience of it, right? So
yeah, so
when you're crowned Miss International USA, are all of the women in their 40s or are they younger? Like, are you in competition with all these young?
Yeah, competition with everyone. So you can start competing in our pageant at age 26. And right now there's no age limit. So 26 plus. But because the year that I competed was the first year they opened it up to women 40 plus. I'm actually the first woman over 40 ever crowned in our system, which I'm really proud of and really excited about, and just, you know, want to let women know, you know, 30, 40, 50, 60, whatever your age is, don't let it limit you. If you have a dream, go for it. You'll learn a lot about yourself in the process, even if you don't win. And I've learned something from every pageant that I've done. I've grown, and it's been a lot of fun, frankly.
Wow. Well, we definitely have a lot of people watching. Everybody's saying that they loved watching you win. Jen, you have some followers watching you too. Jen, they said that you would be the spiritual badass USA. I don't know if spiritual and badass can be put in one sentence, but you know.
Well, it'll wrap around to the back.
Right? We'll put
to be
awesome right
twirling.
here and badass in the back.
Yeah, we'll just have you on a constant little twirl, like a little round.
Oh,
twirl.
yeah. Let's go
Yes,
roll around.
yes. Constantly going around, around, around.
Well, I remember, I think I was 17, and I was super shy, super introverted, still kind of am. But my mom, I had seen an ad like in the local newspaper or something, and I said, I want to compete in this. I think it was a local state pageant, like a little Miss America pageant. And she's like, you want to do what? You don't stand, like, you can't handle being in front of a crowd.
You don't stand a chance.
And I don't stand a chance. Like, I didn't grow up in it, right? All of that. And I won Miss Photogenic right off at the beginning. And then I was like a runner up in the next, whatever the next level was. But I was fine. I was so fine. Like, walking on stage, I had a modeling coach, learning how
You
to
have
walk.
to wear an evening gown and
Like the whole thing. That was so much fun. Like, that was so much fun. And the girls in Colorado, they were so friendly and supportive. And I mean, sometimes the moms were a little weird, but the girls were like so awesome. And I could just see Mikell like missing that when it was over. And I was just fine until I had to open my mouth on stage. And then, Angel, I just couldn't mutter two sentences together in front of an audience.
That kind of goes along with your story, how the teacher, felt so bad for you that they passed you.
I almost didn't graduate high school because public speaking was a required credit. And I physically could not speak in front of an audience.
What's funny is that when I was in high school, I was very active, cheerleading and all that kind of stuff, but I could not get in front and talk. Mm-hmm. And now here we are 7 years later that we both are here on internationally morning talk show.
It's not,
and we both speak on stages in front of hundreds of people.
I don't know that I could anymore. Like, I've been this just feels like, hey, it's a bunch of friends getting together and we're just hanging out. I haven't been on a stage now. Like, I did 2 years of public speaking, stretched myself, pushed myself, right? Put myself in scenarios to kind of get over that. And now that we've not done it, I'm like, this is fine with me. I'm good.
When I met you and you were on stage that time, I was like taking all these pictures because that's what I do. Like, I want to make sure that you guys get, pictures of you guys on stage. And I sent it to her. Like, she's doing amazing. And then as I get to know her, she's like, oh my gosh, I was so nervous. And she does this like a little whole skit when she puts a sleeping mask on and, like this whole thing. And it's everybody loves it. And she comes out, she's like, oh my God.
Heart's racing.
Like, what?
You would never know because I've seen her be on stage too, and you would never know. She's phenomenal.
Well, thank you. But that's just one of those, like, you just have to get over yourself, right? Like, there are things that we have to do and we might not want to, it might not be in our comfort zone, but like, I didn't die, right? Nothing really bad happened. Like, it all was in my head.
It's like that bumper sticker, but did you die?
Did you? No, I did not. I did not.
Right.
And so, okay, so now that we're sharing fears and stuff. So, Kim, are you like afraid of public speaking, or like, what's your?
I never thought I would ever be doing what I'm doing right now, ever. And it literally, I remember coming last year on with y'all, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I can never do what they do. There's no way. I about wanted to throw up just being on your show.
The night before, she kept texting me saying, Tina, I don't think I can do this. I don't think I can. And I think this was before we were syndicated on all these platforms.
Oh, absolutely.
And all these hundreds of thousands of people. And I was like, there's nobody that watches our show. And she's like, I'm about to throw up. I don't think I can do it.
And now I am the happiest and I've ever been. I am so in love with this. So yes, I do it live as well, right? You guys were such an inspiration, but this was a whole, I didn't even think it would be coming. So yes.
Well, you have a podcast called Coffee with Kim.
Yeah, I do a live, I stream to 4 different Facebook groups. So I do video. And then we're going to take it.
I streamed to 4 4 groups now, like not
Well,
just one. She's like,
actually it's more than that, but
It's like, actually,
in just a short period of time, she went from can't do it, can't do it, can't do it.
Right.
Now there's more than that.
and she has her little coffee shop in the background and all
yeah,
this
this is
stuff.
like this.
And I'm so blessed because I get to be on there on Monday.
I know, I'm so excited. And Angel, we're gonna get you on too. So
Well, I thank you. I hope
She's
so.
like, Jen, what about you? Are there any fears that you had, like, growing up that you thought, oh my gosh, I don't think I'm ever going to get over this?
Oh yeah, I wrote a book about it. Oh no, but really, I think I was a really good actress, so I think I pushed through the fears. But like you all have said already, that now it's a completely different life. Like I never thought I'd be doing the things and stepping out and not being afraid, and I'm not acting anymore. I was like literally authentic. I, like you were saying, Coffee Kim, I get on lives now and I'm just like, oh, I'm inspired to say something. One person watches or 150 watch, and I got something to say.
Yeah.
So I say, and it's just completely different now, you
So
know?
Jen and I know each other because we were both in a kind of a small town in Richmond Hill, Georgia, near Savannah. And we both had all boys. You had all boys, right?
I have 2 girls, 1 boy.
Oh, okay, I thought you had all boys. And our boy, our kids grew up together in the high school. There's 1 high school, 1 middle school, 1 elementary school, and me being room mom and all that kind of stuff throughout my kids' life. We started knowing each other, and then I started running all of these networking groups in Savannah as my business was growing. And then I moved to Atlanta, and the people would tell me all the time, oh my gosh, the networking, there's no networking here in Savannah, this and that. But I remember Jen, she had really long hair. And all of a sudden I see her on Facebook. I'm like, oh my gosh, she cut all her hair off.
No, it was a real painful thing for my daughter. Was, Mom, you don't look like you. You're not my mom anymore. I'm like, I'm still your mom. I have less hair.
And then didn't you open a restaurant?
Mm-hmm. I opened a New York style deli in Richmond Hill. Yeah. And it was fun, but that was a time in my life that wasn't really like the best time for me. But again, as a great actress. So I put on a smile. I love people. So
you have to you have to be an actress when you live in Richmond Hill because there's a lot of acting there.
Yeah. Well, I became a professional at it. Like I really was. My family didn't even know what was going on with me. So, I mean, I just keep the peace with everybody, but being in like that environment where you kind of know everybody and you're feeding them. I mean, like, just, I find a lot of love in feeding. So I was able to do that and distract myself, but it's something I enjoy. So now without all the pain and the fear and all that, now I'm just enjoying myself.
And she just wrote a book. So we're going to find out more about that in a few minutes. Mikell, what about you? Do you have any fears? I know you obviously didn't have any fears of running on stage.
Well, the thing is, I did used to have, that was one of my major fears. And it's why I started in pageantry, besides to get scholarships, was to get over that fear. But frankly, like I tell everyone, throw yourself in a 2-piece swimsuit, high heels, go on a stage, be judged by like 1,000 people and a panel of judges, and you will no longer fear public speaking.
I would never do that in a million years if you paid me $1 million.
Well, let's just say
no, and no.
All fears, you will have no more fears of public speaking. Not that you do now, but that
public
totally
speaking, I'm good. I'll be like, I'll public speak, but I have to be fully clothed in a bathing suit.
Oh, yeah.
Got rid of all my fears, so I don't have any fear of public speaking anymore whatsoever. So it's been great for that. But of course, that's my fear. And as a mom, of course, I think you're always fearful, something's going to happen to your kids. But besides that, I think that was sort of one of my major fears in life, was just being in front of people. And thankfully, I got over that, obviously.
Okay, so Mikell, how do you keep your pageant body?
How do I keep my pageant body? I actually I do a lot of walking. When I signed up for the pageant, I was just 8 months postpartum, and I was still about 10 pounds from being stage ready, at least 10 pounds. And
Jen and I
I tried to get that back.
Walked. So walking for me is It's what does it. And I'm a normally petite person now anyway. So I know, usually 8 months out, most people are more than 10 pounds. But for me, that was a lot because I'm a pretty petite person. So to lose 10 pounds, I was like, oh my gosh, how am I going to lose 10 pounds in like 4 months? And I just walked a lot and, running around with my kids, that certainly keeps me fit. And, just trying not to indulge too much, but that's something, I live in Europe now. You can't live in Europe and not want to indulge in like wine and croissants.
Cheese and breads and all
Exactly.
that yummy stuff.
That is, I think those are
Pasta.
my two weaknesses is cheese and bread.
My
Oh,
husband, we're getting ready to move into a new house, and he was in the neighborhood, and he brought me home a little menu. There's this little French bakery, walking distance from my house.
Walking distance?
Walking distance.
Oh, Angel, we're gonna be in trouble when I
Yeah. So as long as I walk there, so that'll be right, because
So if you want a croissant or a nice thing from the bakery, you just have to walk there.
I just have to walk there, like so that I can earn it. All right. Well, let's get to know like a little bit more professionally about our guests today and their background. Jen, do you want to just give a little bit of your story, your history of how you came to be the Miss Spiritual Badass USA?
Sure.
Well, it all started.
Oh, so it all started. Actually was not at all in my, I never thought I'd be doing the things that I do today. So my journey really was probably because of the pain and the suffering that I was going through in my body that led me to where I am now. So, I have 3 kids. I've been married for 28 years. I'm from Long Island. I was placed in the South, so I had all these things already happening. And then, I experienced a lot of pain. I didn't know I had celiac disease. I had a near-death experience. I lost a baby through a tubal ligation, which, really put me in a state of fear and it just grew. So it started and then it just kind of snowballed, honestly. And it wasn't until Richmond Hill, 3 kids in, house, dogs. And I'm like, what am I doing? I'm so miserable. I can't even, so hearing this beautiful Mikell, right?
Mikell,
She just beautiful energy, just like the way she speaks. And I'm like, oh, that's why my jaw dropped, because it just shows such a beautiful confidence that so many people don't realize in themselves. And I can attest to that. So I didn't see that beautiful light that you express, and that you obviously won this because you do express it so well. And I just knew something had to change. And so I went on a 12-year journey of figuring out what it was inside of me that was broken. And that's why my book is about that. My book is all the parts of me.
Mm.
And
you just recently published that?
Yeah, just with Inspired Girl Books. I just did it on the 5th.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, welcome to the club. Is that your first book?
I did a book about pennies from heaven called Heaven Sent.
Okay.
And I did that about 7 years ago. It's a children's book.
Oh, how fun. Oh, how fun, Jen. Oh, what a great.
Yeah, so it was but it was cathartic to get it out. But then now it's just a passion to help people to bring that and live their most authentic life and know who they were created to be. And it doesn't have to be sadness. It can be joy.
I think a lot of women tend to, and we've been talking about this a lot lately here on the Angel and Tina Morning Show, but a lot of women tend to hold everything in because they think that they're the only ones dealing with any kind of problems, whether it's, babies or husbands or their job or their insecurities or whatever it is. They tend to hold it in and think that everything is perfect on the outside, but then they hold it all in for years and years and years and years until they start sharing their story. And then once they share their story, then people are going, oh my gosh, I was going through the same thing. And you're like, what? Like, what? I could have, you and I could have helped each other, during the same time. Because you feel like you see these people online, especially right now on social media. You see all these people online, think that they have this perfect life and that they're, not dealing with nothing horrible and that they're living the happy life, living their best life. And then you find out that they were depressed or that they went through this or that they went through that. And you're like, oh, I think if we just, as women, just be more authentic and more vulnerable and share our stories a little bit more and be a little bit more real on social media, we might be able to help so many more women that are going through so many things like this right now.
Yeah, I agree with you completely. I agree with you. And I think that that's a problem with all of society, actually, even men too. I see that a lot of boys try to hold up the image. And, even though my book is a very spiritual journey, it's also one in the body too, and in the mind. And we tell ourselves thoughts from a wee little person, right? And those thoughts just continue. And they snowball. They don't, unless you address them, they don't get better. They just become, now you're a 40-year-old woman with the same thoughts, and now they're expanded, or you're a 100-year-old woman. And
Right.
but it's so, unless you address it, and that's why I wrote the book for myself, but I have 2 daughters, and I wrote it so they could see that, even though I felt broken, I don't feel that way, but that was my past story. And I knew that if I just shared this, that it would give permission to somebody to see something in that story, one thing or all of it, that resonated with them too. And I felt like it was just my job, and now it's my passion. So
I love that.
I'm so excited. Okay, so the book is, I didn't write it down. Tell
all
me
the
again.
it's
All
all
the
the parts of me.
All the parts of me.
And why the significance of the jumping? Because you'd be like, Jen, that's not even a flattering picture, because my face is like, but anybody who knows me, that's kind of me. But I have arthritis, and all over my 2 to 7, my back, my feet, my arms. And there was once a time where we just really thought, what a piece of garbage. You can't even get out of the bed. 10 operations. I mean, like the whole gamut. And I'm like, who are you? You're nothing, is what I thought about myself. And that's what that journey. And I'm like, what badass. I could walk if I want to, and I could put an ice pack on if I want to. I mean, it's not a big deal.
Or
But,
do both at the same
now.
My mom, Jen, my mom has rheumatoid arthritis, and she was in her 30s when it kind of kicked in. It was so scary to watch her go through this. And my mom's only 15 years older than me, so she's young, and she's been just way too young to have her
Right.
body kind of reject her like that. And so I can
It's such
really
a horrible
relate
thing.
to you. And
Yeah.
yes, brave. You are a brave, courageous, incredible woman, Jen. Thank you for sharing your story, because you're in it. And even now when I ask Mikell, like I've always been super petite, but I hit my mid 40s and I just feel like my body just said, okay, new design. Like
Right.
all it, like I
Right.
never, like I had been the same exact size, wore the same size for like in my entire life. And then all of a sudden, not so much anymore, and nothing
Right.
fit.
Yeah.
And it was like my like, just, we're just going to give you a whole new shape.
Right.
I'm like, I kind of
We
like the one I
change,
had.
right? And so after a while, we kind of get used to this outside of who we are, and we think that's all we are.
Define that.
One of the best words that my husband ever said to me was one day, and I'm still this body, and this is, I'm beating myself up, and I was happy one day about something. He goes, "You look so beautiful." And I go, "What are you saying?" He goes, "Your happiness. You're just happy, and you know how attractive you are when you're
Makes
happy."
you
I'm
look
like,
beautiful
that's
when
all?
you're happy.
Yeah. It radiates from you when you're happy.
Oh yeah.
That is so true. That is so true. Okay, so Kim, how about you? Give us a little bit of background about how you became the queen of coffee.
Well, I don't
Oh,
even
look, wait. She said the queen of coffee.
coffee.
Did you
Love
hear that?
it.
Yeah,
Yes,
that
I
Jersey
did.
accent is rubbing off on you.
What queen?
Oh my gosh.
No, I can relate to you, Jen. I was on about a 12-year journey myself, very similar things with my body and all of that. You and I will have to connect sometime.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
I've been reading Tina's book, and where is it? Right here. And and just your story, Tina, right? And
Probably didn't know a lot about that.
no, I didn't. And our stories are so important. And you know, mine started so long ago. And then, you know, I met Angel and Tina just kind of at the beginning of a whole new chapter for myself. And I had my, you know, my marketing company. I have a company called Fontes. It's a marketing communications company I run with my brother. And, you know, I liked it, but I didn't know how to fit it into my heart. And Angel going through her course and everything else like that has made such an impact. And then going from that to, you know, March of last year, I was just in the starting to get that new journey, that new business, that new thing I wanted to do that was more heart and spirit centered and making a difference in the world. And we got shut down and my business hit a 98% bottom. So I saw it coming, and great things I had done for about 3 months prior. I had seen some things happening. So I had started pivoting and then going through this whole, and I knew everything was going online. I was coming on, you know, 2 different times on the Angel Tina show. And I'm like, just like we were talking earlier, I was scared to death. I've always been on the back end. My daughter's an actress for 15 years. I was, you know, doing the taping, doing the back. I was never in the front.
That was me. Yeah. Never.
And I never wanted it to be about me. It was always, how can I serve? So my 3 philosophies are love what you do, serve others, and provide value. That's what I measure everything I do about. That's what I do. And so I was like, okay, so I take care of my customers. I am like pivoting my company. I'm trying to learn. I got into some courses to do online marketing because I knew I was going to have to take my customers there. I have customers that are shutting their doors. I am just like, oh my gosh. So fast forward, I end the year with, or right before I ended the year, I knew we were going to end the year real close to what we did the previous year. I had literally worked sometimes 18, 20-hour days. So got that going. And I had literally, the other day I was watching the Angel and Tina, and I said, or Angel's other show, her reinvention. And I said, I literally had a dream. I literally clear as day saw Coffee with Kim, and I'm like, there's no way I can't do this. And luckily I had an accountability partner. I was helping her get her business going. And she said, okay, you can do this. And so she started working with me. And I'm like, oh my gosh, if I do this, I can do it for my other business too. And it was like this whole new world just opened up. And I've got Coffee with Kim. I'm about 7 weeks in. And then I have Fontes Insider, which I'm going to go online with my customers and my vendors so I can provide value, because I can't do that one-on-one, right? And then I keep hearing Angel's voice in my head that says, you know, other people's platforms or one-to-many, right? And I'm just like, oh my gosh, okay, how do I do that? And so she has watched me struggle, right? Tina has watched me struggle. And now I just feel so free, so clear, and the happiest I have ever been. And I have these 6 kids, and I have 2 grandbabies and twins on the way. And I got a call earlier in the week that I need to go help in Texas with my daughter-in-law who's down in bed rest. And my brother said to me, sorry, I'm going to get a little choked up, but you guys know me. He goes, isn't it beautiful that you can do what you do anywhere?
Yeah. Yes, Kim. Yes.
And I am like, yes, I can serve my family. I can serve humanity. I can serve my clients and my customers. And I feel so blessed. And I want that for everybody. And so that is just my mission going forward.
And let me tell you, she has the most beautiful little granddaughter who like takes center stage every single time she comes on Facebook Live. Like I simply adore her. I just can see the personality in her, and I'm like, yep, she's gonna be the one.
I got 2 of them, and you're going to see more of them in the next couple months.
Because you're going to be there. But what a blessing, right? By design. So often we're taking these leaps of faith, and we think that it's for this other, for this, like we're going down this path and this is why. And then you get there and you come around the bend and you discover there was a bigger, like there's something even bigger and grander and
For you.
waiting for you. And what an impact, Kim, that you are having on your family, and being brave, right? Setting yourself up, being willing to let go of things so that we can
Yeah.
make room for a better version of ourselves. And you're right, no more onesies, building
It
your business.
reminds me of
Yeah.
that song
Knitting.
And my daughter, my youngest daughter, has been on 2 of the Coffee with Kims. If you guys go out and check it out, she is 100 times even. She's light years ahead of me where I was at her age, and she has such authenticity and such a beautiful heart too. So, to share that, like you said, to even share that piece of me with them is I can't. There's no words.
Oh, I love it. I love that you are able to say that you can now travel and work anywhere you want to. I love it. Kind of reminds me of that song that when God closes one door, it's because he has another door that's something even better and
Even better.
yeah,
And something you didn't even expect.
yeah.
Right? But I took that. If I had not had the people in my life and the mentors and the people, there's no way I would have had the courage to jump and do that when I saw that.
Kim, I can see you completely changed from the last year when you and I spoke and we had like a 2-hour conversation and I was helping you through something, and I can just see everything coming together now for you. And it's what an honor it is to see people go through that change and through that.
Isn't it? When I see that, when I have clients and people that I help go through that, I have this one client who's now a friend, and she's like, Kim, you're the direction queen. That's who I am.
That's it.
That's your stash.
She
That's
goes,
your
Direction queen. The
she
queen.
goes, literally, she says, you look cut through all the fat and all the stuff that I was getting in my way about. But you want to know something? The reason I can help other people do that is because I did it for myself.
Yeah.
Betcha. You betcha. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well,
But
ladies,
helping others also helps you.
we have Miss International USA here, but we have to take a quick commercial break to thank all of our sponsors. But we will be right back with Miss International USA.
we're so excited. What an inspiring morning. I think just kind of cutting through a lot of the stuff that we don't normally get to see when we are on stage, when we are doing, more official presentations. We get to peel back the layers and get to know our guests really, really an authentic and beautiful way. We want to say thank you to our sponsors of the Angel and Tina Morning Show. We are so grateful to have 3 fabulous sponsors who support the show, share the show, and give us the support behind the scenes to keep it going every weekday morning. Zandra TV Network. We are digitally streamed on all the on-demand networks: Apple TV, Roku, Fire TV, Android, Chromecast, and more, thanks to the ZTV Network. Zandra's been paving the way, a pioneer in helping entrepreneurs start their own TV shows on these digital streaming platforms. And if you've ever thought about hosting your own TV show, maybe you do a podcast, you've got content that you put out on YouTube, let's level it up to television with the Zandra TV Network. And you can schedule a discovery call with her by going to her website, beonztv.com, beonztv.com, and check out her incubator for producers. She walks you through step by step what it takes to produce your own show, just like the Angel and Tina Morning Show. Bliss by the Lake Boutique is our clothing sponsor. They get new inventory in every single week, adorable styles. They ship all over the country, all over the globe, and you can follow them on social media. And Sonic VA, your video assistant. Take your raw footage of content that you are recording for your YouTube channel and let Sonic VA do all of the editing, polishing, uploading keywords to make it shine. Make sure that you are leveraging the power of YouTube. Video is the #1 thing you can do as a business to tell your story every single week. And Sonic VA wants to come along as your video assistant partner. When you mention the Angel and Tina Morning Show, they are going to give you a 10% discount off your first 5 videos. That's sonicva.com/video, sonicva.com/video. Thank you so much to our sponsors. Thank you to our 3 fabulous guests here. I've got my little crown on this morning with with our fabulous International Miss USA. Mikell, give us like, I know we talked a little bit about your pageantry journey and how you ended up here in this space. Where does International Miss USA go next? Like, what are you most looking forward to coming down the pike, and for this, like, what doors will this open for you?
Sure. So I was crowned International Miss USA in August of 2019. Due to COVID, our pageant this past year was actually postponed. So currently it's scheduled for, I believe, the end of June in Las Vegas. Of course, because we have contestants flying in from all over the world, who knows if that will happen. We may have to postpone it again just to make sure things are safe for everyone and people can get visas and whatnot. In the meantime, what I've been doing a lot of is trying to, as much as I can, give back. I do a lot of community service. Right now, most of it's online, just trying to promote my platform, which is the prevention of heart disease in women. I've been working with the American Heart Association now, I think, for over 8 years. My mom is a 2-time heart attack survivor. Heart disease runs very strongly in our family, and frankly has pretty much killed just about every woman in my family. So because of that, that's why I chose heart disease and preventing heart disease in women as my sort of community service platform. So I've worked as an official ambassador with the American Heart Association for many years, both in Maine, where I'm from, and also DC, which is sort of my home base when I'm not over here working internationally with the State Department. So I think next what I'm trying to do is just trying to do, like I said, more community service as much as I can, promoting my platform. National Wear Red Day is coming up on February 5th. So I encourage everyone to wear red that day, and also to learn about the signs of heart attack, especially for women, which are slightly different than they are in men. And one of the reasons my mom survived her 2 heart attacks is that she knew these signs, and when she experienced them, she immediately called an ambulance and was brought to the hospital. Thank God. My mom is like my best friend. So if she's watching, hi Mom. I don't know what I'd do without her. And she had her first heart attack at 53 and a second heart attack at 59. Thank God she's now 65. Maybe she doesn't want me to say her age, but.
What is your mom's name, Mikell?
My mom's name is Roxanne.
Okay. If she was on here.
I was gonna say she may have forgotten too. But yeah, so I do this for my mom, and also to try to prevent other people from going through, the heartache, literally, that our family had to go through with my mom having these heart attacks. And my grandmother died when I was 10 of a heart attack. And my grandfather died before I was even born at the age of 48 from a heart attack. So it's really affected my family. And I think you guys were talking earlier, about authenticity and being real, and people needing to know that, people don't have a perfect life. I'm International Ms. USA. I don't have a perfect life. I'm happy with my life, but, I think there are all things we can do to improve. And also there's these secret and private struggles that we all go through. And I think being kind to others is one of those things, and giving back that we can do to sort of bring us all together, and just realize that everyone out there has some sort of struggle they're going through. A lot of people have multiple struggles. And certainly right now with the pandemic and all of the mental health problems and things that it's causing, economic hardships. I mean, these are all things that I think a lot of people can relate to. I grew up poor. I can relate to people struggling economically right now. So now that I can help others, I try to donate to different charities and things that are there to help people. I try to work with those charities and things like that. So trying to give back during this time as much as we can, even if it's just virtual volunteering or seeing what we can do to try to raise money for different organizations, it really is helpful. So that's sort of the legacy I want to leave behind as International Ms. USA, is one of giving back and being authentic. Frankly, after 20 years, I think I won the title because it was the pageant where I just was the most real I could be. I went into the interview and it was just me. It wasn't anything else. I was polished enough on stage to make everything look good, but in the interview room, it was just me.
It was just you, inauthentic.
Yeah.
No, so it was in 2019 that you won. Did they extend you being now, instead of just doing it for 1 year, you have to do it for 2?
Yeah, for almost 2 years. So my sister queen, Dr. Corinne Devon, who's the current international Ms., she and I will have our titles extended until whenever we crown our successors. Hopefully at the end of June, but who knows? I wouldn't mind going back to the US again at some other point. So certainly, you know, I'm looking forward to that. But at the same time, it also does give she and I a lot more time to sort of concentrate on, you know, doing things and accomplishing things that we'd hoped to do, which were a little bit more difficult, of course, when the pandemic first started.
Yeah, right. You know, you do get the longer time, but also the impact, because you're not out and about, has been a little bit more challenging too. So it's good that that was extended. And, you know, and we all know, right? Like we can do more good, right? Like there's so much opportunity out there to make an impact on the causes that are important to us and near and dear to our heart, no pun intended, right? But yeah, if your mom is seeing this, like what a beautiful tribute to your family, Mikell, that you're creating there. So, okay, Miss Jen, what are we looking forward to? What's coming down the pike for you that you're so excited about?
So much stuff. Well, before I wrote my book, I started a company called Do Life Inspired with my husband, and I had no idea why I started this company. And we trademarked this little figure because we just knew what I was going through in my life, and we just put it on the back burner and said, well, guess God will let us know when it's time. And then the pandemic hit, and you know, here we are in our homes, and I'm, you know, just trying to just get through the book. And then I realized I can do something to inspire people in their homes, just having them raise their thought that they can live their life inspired. So I started painting myself, and I promoted the book, the company, and just got out of my own way and started doing lives and posting things, and just to show that while you're home, and some of us who are experiencing pain, and then you can't even go to the doctors, and I'm trying to get people to think about other things. It was a perfect, beautiful timing and orchestration that God allowed me to bring this company out to just inspire people, you know, whatever you're doing, to try to be inspired, to know that you're connected to something greater than all this. And so I started putting my pictures up. My daughter's like, just do it. And people started loving my angel paintings,
because
and just like,
you were authentic.
That's it. And so it just became a passion. So I have all of these things, which I've never would have thought of before, but I guess just showing that, you know, that part of you, you know, to be authentic and to show up. And we were talking earlier about the story, you know, our story of our life. That's what brought us here. I mean, our story always brings us to where we are. And I don't hate my story, and I don't begrudge it, although my story has changed and morphed. I haven't. I'm still Jen. I'm still me. I'm just a happier version of Jen. So I don't ever begrudge my story. It got me to where I am. So I try to show that to anybody who wants to, any client or anybody on, you know, just social media in general. A foreign thing to me, social media. It doesn't love me. I push live, it clicks off. I mean, it's just.
Listen, Jen, it doesn't love us either.
Yeah, we have a love-hate relationship with it.
Won't let it get me.
Relationship with Facebook.
You know, it's taken down, you know, lesser men, but I won't let it get me. So anyway, but that's the passions that I have. You know, I started getting out of my own way, and I made a program, which I started like a month or so, and I have a beta person walking through all the steps of it with me, so that it's called Pain to Power. And it's a 6-month program to just get people, to help them to shift their mind away from the things that their thoughts or the pains or the suffering. Because I can honestly say it wasn't just pain, it was suffering. I suffered, you know, and I just just don't feel like I'm living my
People
best
also
life if I
suffered
don't
in
help people.
silence. You know, and
100%.
I think that is probably the worst thing because you can't share it with anybody.
Mm.
And
100%.
you know, I think we as women, and like I said before, we as women, we need to start sharing our story because
Yes.
our stories are powerful. And if we start sharing our stories, we might be able to help other people who are going through the same things that we are going through.
Tina, I can't tell you enough. 2 weeks ago, I was in the hospital with some heart stuff. And when those kind of things happen, I go inside, right? And I saw that old patterning of me happen. And I'm like, oh gosh, I can't do this. And so I reached out to a couple people and they're like, I knew that's what you were doing.
Wow.
Wow. Wow. They knew.
Mm-hmm. She goes, I was about ready to reach out to you because I knew that's what you were doing.
Hmm.
So,
You know, Kim, there's two things I want to tell you. You're a blessing to your daughter. My mom stayed with me for 2 kids on bed rest, and so I literally credit my mother for my family. So I'm just think you're a wonderful person for doing that, and it will mean a lot to your daughter. I'm sure she'll express that to you, but from a daughter. But the last part of my book is about what you just said, Kim. And you've mentioned it 2 or 3 times now about like us all being interconnected. And the last section of my book is called Oneness. And it's literally the last stage of how I helped to heal myself. It was the understanding that we are all one, you know? And like, you're not some separate little island floating out there by yourself and have to do it all. And when you have a success, it's shared. And you know, and so it's a beautiful way to think of things, and that's how, like, you know, volunteering and extending ourselves and that gratitude and the energy is of love. And I think it benefits the planet when we stand there and do that for ourselves. So.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, it does. All right, ladies. Well, we want to make sure that our audience has a way to connect with you, the causes that are important to you, reading the books that you're writing, follow your shows, all of that. So, Kim, we'll start with you. How do you want people to stay connected with you?
I created a website. I finished it last night. So if you guys look at it on your cell phone, it's not going to be finished. If you look at it on your desktop, it's www, you have to put that in, coffee with a K, coffeewithkim.com, or you can, we are on YouTube. If you type in Coffee with Kim, it'll pop up on Facebook, on Instagram. So I've tried to put me on so many platforms that you're not going to have a hard time getting a hold of me. Or you can also email me at coffeewithkimlive, live.com. I would love to connect with you. I am looking for people to come on to the show where you can convey your message, we celebrate you, and you can connect with people.
Love that. Love that. How about you, Mikell?
You can find me on Facebook at /international Ms. MS USA. I'm also on Instagram at international Ms. MS USA, as well as my private Instagram, which is at Mikell, MIKELL Carroll, CARROLL.
And Jen.
On Facebook, Jen Fiore, then my Shimalla too. So FIORESHIMALLA. But I also have my business, Do Life Inspired, on Facebook, and I have that on Instagram as well. So Jen Fiore, Do Life Inspired. To buy my book, it is out of stock on Amazon, so that's not a bad thing to have right after that.
No, not at all. Congratulations.
Thank you. But hopefully that'll be up and running soon on Amazon. But I do have it available on both of my websites, the jenfiore.com as well as the Do Life Inspired, where I mail it from here and I sign it. And I give little goodies.
I give little goodies. That's fabulous. That's fabulous. Like, how exciting when it's like it's all sold out. In fact, I was looking at, I got my Amazon report for whatever this upcoming
December.
right? And my very first book that I published back in 2009, I've now done 12, right, since then. But my very first one, we sold 55 copies last month. And so, I mean, it shocked me because here it is, 12 years later, the book is still selling. People are still finding it. And, it's nothing to shake a stick at, like not earth shattering, like, ooh, but I mean, 55 copies, like that's,
Wait. What do you say to all of your clients? Don't discredit 55 copies.
I know, but I don't know if you go out and you're like, woohoo, I sold, for people who don't know, right? Who don't know the story. And, it's not like, that was a goal, right? Like, that's going to change anything, but it does have impact, and everything that we're doing. Maybe, you talk about, well, how do I get, more attention on my current book? Well, write your next one. People will follow and find. And so, 12 years later, I wrote that. I'm still getting royalties on that book. It is an absolute game changer. So if you are an author, we teach a really impactful way that you can leverage your book for some real serious income. Now, other books sold better, but List That Saved My Life, my very first one ever, sold 55 copies without a whole lot of push towards that. So that was pretty exciting. Well, ladies, thank you so much for being with us today, for coming on together. No coincidence that the three of you were on together. We love playing media matchmaker for our guests. Watching the stories just build upon each other. I hope you'll follow each other, go back and respond to all the comments from all the followers and that were here and engaged with us. There was a lot of fangirling over you girls today, all you ladies today. My name's Angel Tulsi. I am your media matchmaker. If you are looking for more exposure, you want to get booked on what we call OPA, other people's audiences. That's radio, television, magazines, podcasts, stages. You can download my complimentary starter kit at makeyourbigimpact.com. That's makeyourbigimpact.com. Guaranteed media database, press release templates, everything that you need to just start. I know we don't have to be great to start. We just have to start to be great, says the great Jim Rohn. And you can start with your starter kit at makeyourbigimpact.com.
When you were talking about your book, my book, Beyond Gratitude, just hit 1,000 copies sold.
Ooh,
Oh my gosh. It's
Right?
such an honor. But you're so right. You have to write your next book, and it'll push your other book out there. I wrote this, the Gratitude Journal, on March 17th of last year, the day that the world went under lockdown. And you guys all know I have my next book out. I am Tita Torres, your client retention expert, otherwise known as the Gratitude Specialist. And if you're struggling with attracting the right clients, knowing how to connect to them, or even if you just don't know how to convert them into clients, I have a complimentary guide that I hope you grow your audience organically, online and offline, connect and nurture those relationships authentically, and then take those relationships and turn them into paying clients. You can grab your guide if you text the word connection to 26786. That is the word connection to 26786. And of course, if you have not yet bought your Beyond Gratitude book, you can still do so by going to beyondgratitudebook.com. Grab your book. It's only $5 on Amazon, beyondgratitudebook.com. We are Angel and Tina on the Angel and Tina Morning Show, where we come to you live every weekday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern. We are so grateful to you, our audience, our guests here today. What an amazing experience we had today. Thank you guys for being our loyal fans, and we hope we brought a bright start to your day. Have a fabulous day, guys, and we will see you guys tomorrow.